Welcome to another week of Indie Games Wednesday. On this episode, I'm going to focus my attention on the game Darq, currently being developed by Unfold Games. Darq is the brainchild of Vlad Marhulitz, who started creating the game back in 2016 while he was just starting to learn how a game is made. He says he was new to coding, 3D modeling, and texturing when he began his journey, and has since, according to a post he made on Imager on January 10th, 2019, turned down 12 publishers, saying he wanted to make the game that he envisioned. I'll leave a link below to his post so you can read his full story. The game has come a long way since 2016, and the Unfold Games team has grown to include Adam Schmidt and Bjorn Jacobsen, as well as others, and I'm sorry if I mispronounced any of these names. Adam Schmidt is a sound engineer who worked on films such as Inception, The Dark Knight Rises, and Pirates of the Caribbean. Bjorn Jacobsen is working on sound design and is known for games like Cyberpunk 2077, Hitman, and Eve Valkyrie. So basically, sound is very important to this game, and as it should be for any game falling in the horror genre. And as if he wasn't doing enough already, Vlad Marhulitz is writing the game's score himself. This alone all seems to be story enough to make a video on this game and its development, but I had decided to make this video before I even knew any of that information. The reason I first wanted to take a look at Darq was because I was drawn in by its amazing visuals and story concept. This game just speaks to me in so many ways, and based on some of the attention the game has gotten so far, such as winning the Best of the Mix award at PAX West 2018, I'm not alone. In an interview with GameSpot during E3 2018, Vlad discussed some of the inspirations for the game's tone. Among those inspirations were Tim Burton, as well as games like Inside and Limbo, and it shows. The style is definitely unique and its own, but the inspiration can be seen, and those inspirations just so happen to be things that I love. I'm going to directly quote part of Unfold Games' description, because I don't think I could word this any better. Their official description says, Darq tells the story of Lloyd, a boy who becomes aware of the fact that he is dreaming. To Lloyd's misfortune, the dream quickly turns into a nightmare, and all attempts to wake up end in failure. While exploring the darkest corners of his subconscious, Lloyd learns to survive the nightmare by bending the laws of physics and manipulating the fluid fabric of the dream world. After reading that description and watching the game footage, it's unavoidable. I have to play this game. As someone who has quite vivid and lucid dreams, I've always been fascinated by the stories our brains develop at night, and Darq seems as though it will allow me to explore that fascination in quite a different way as it dives into Lloyd's dream world. Like the illogical world of any dream, Lloyd's dream world, or nightmare world, exists in a space that doesn't have any of the restraints of reality. Rooms can shift, gravity can shift. One moment you're walking on a train only to take a quick turn through a hole in a wall, which leads you deep into a forest. Then the train, although it never stopped moving, is just a few steps away and back through the hole in the wall. With the restraints of reality and publishers thrown out the window, the developer has the freedom to do whatever their imagination can conjure up. I just want to mention real fast here that in the post from Vlad Marhulitz that I mentioned earlier, he didn't say all publishers are bad or that developers shouldn't work with them. He just said that it wasn't right for him in this game. I don't want to create the impression that he or I think that publishers are inherently bad. Anyway, with Darq existing within a dream, the game's logic can shift at any time, and the fact that the main character Lloyd is lucid means he can learn to manipulate that logic at any moment. This gives the developer so many options for creating the interesting puzzles which are featured throughout the game. Puzzles which will require you to learn the ever-changing logic of the dream to shift walls and worlds in an attempt to wake Lloyd up. Speaking of ever-changing, Darq has seen its own share of changes as the game's development has progressed. Here's some early footage of the game. You can see that the game's visual art style has been completely remixed. Personally, I like both styles, but the developer has decided to go in a different direction for one reason or another, and I don't have any problem with that. I still think it looks beautiful. It's been interesting looking at Darq's development, and I suggest you go to the Unfold Games Twitter account where you'll find posts like these showing different aspects of building a game. You can see the modeling process, the level creation and design being built and refined. Then after seeing all of that, you'll eventually be able to run around in this creation. It's always amazing to see games develop and come to life like this, so props to Unfold Games for being so open about their game and their process. I obviously want the developers to take their time and to release the game that they wish to create, but I can't wait for this game's release and to be able to experience Lloyd's nightmare. I have often had dreams that I wish I could revisit, but sadly, that's not possible unless my subconscious says it is one random night while I'm asleep. But when Darq comes out, I'll be able to experience his crazy dream, and by the looks of it so far, it will be a pretty immersive experience. This game is shaping up to have all of the elements which would cause me to get lost in a game, and video games are the perfect medium to explore a dream world. After all, that's what all games are. Dreams, imaginations. Whether the idea actually came from a dream the creator had while sleeping, or one that they developed while awake. All art is dreaming. Even if that art speaks bluntly about reality, it's first created in the mind, and then transcribed into a format that can transfer the ideas and emotions to others. Right now, to me personally, video games can capture those emotions better than any other form of media. The ability to not just watch, but partake is unmatched by any other medium. And so, I can't wait to take part in Lloyd's dream, in Darq's world, in Unfold Games' story and imagination. And luckily, I should be able to do that sometime this year. As of now, the game is in post-production and is scheduled to release in Q1 of this year. It's set to release on Steam, but I've also seen some things online about the possibility of bringing it to consoles as well. But we'll just have to wait and see. In the meantime, follow Unfold Games on Twitter @UnfoldGames for more updates and just to check out the awesome posts that they have about the game and its development. Seriously, it's awesome to see the modeling and level design time lapses that are posted there, and you should go check them out. Anyway, that was another episode of Indie Games Wednesday. Thanks for watching, and keep on supporting indies.